always talking about attention. Marketing is all about how much attention. Branding is all about how much recognition. At what point does it become detrimental to the brand where you actually have totally missed people's attention? There's one thing, people being conscious and clocking it, because I agree with you, a lot of this is subconscious, but it needs to be conscious enough that your brain clocks it, but not subconscious enough that you totally miss it. Because I think for want of a better way of saying it, people don't think too deeply, and a lot of the time you need a brand in your face to be able to recognize it, to notice it in the first place in such a noisy world, visually and audibly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a visual logo needs to be seen 7 times to remember it, and a audio one needs to be seen like 3 times to remember it. So nothing is instantaneous. You know, it is all cumulative, and that is why people put out so much content, and that is why you're always trying to remind people. That's really all it is. You know, it's all just being the brand that people remember when they're in a time that they want to buy something. So for me, I just think if a brand is more likely to use their sonic branding because they have more variety of its foundational parts, like the melody and the rhythm, I think they will get more recognition because of the amount that they use it, in comparison to if they don't use it as regularly because it doesn't suit maybe the full breadth. And again, maybe that comes down to people have got logos that aren't appropriate for their entire scope of brand. And therein lies another question of, if you feel like you couldn't use this one song for the whole of your brand campaigns for the next 3 years, then maybe it wasn't done properly. And maybe...
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You know, but, you know, I think the Lish one we did really well for them. It's just these odd products and campaigns and things where it's like, we just want to explore this new thing. You know, to say that a brand shouldn't be able to expand and to develop its ideas and its offerings, you know, is ridiculous and not sustainable. So then it's like, if they do want to come slightly outside of the original scope, how can we then just allow that to still have some sonic recognition?
Here's a thought flip. So what if the approach, we're thinking about it or we're discussing it now in the wrong way? So for an example of happy summer brand like Lish, their sonic logo is predominantly like a brass sound, and it leans slightly more electronic because they've got that more energy. They're always at events and nightclubs, just for some painting some context. And then they wanted to do something that was very ethereal, and they were suggesting piano as like a really low tempo mood. Flipping the script, would piano and dumbing it down in that way be the wrong way to approach the slower campaign? Or rather than the logo being wrong, is the logo out of context because the music they're using is out of context? So let's say we found a different way to deliver a slow, gentle, slightly electronic with brass and trumpets involved. Like take all those elements and then create something different and avoid piano, because piano isn't the right thing for their brand. We made a piano sound out of a bottle pop, for example. Yeah. What if actually the context of the music was wrong, but the sonic logo was the thing that was most on brand? Would you recommend a brand to be changing the music rather than changing the logo?